Welcome everyone to the second round of Season 14 here in Division 2. Okay, audio works. Yeah, we are here at the Losail International Circuit for the Qatar Grand Prix. To set the second round of this season. Last week, the race in Belgium, opening up Season 14 Division 2, was won by Sully, with Cuckoo in second place and Bazooka in third. And now, we are back for the second round. The championship fight. Hopefully staying close still. Sully, of course, after last week's performance, I would say is the big favorite. And if we look at a couple of the guys who are racing today, did also do the Division 1 race. And I had done their qualifying times. I'll have to scroll a bit to find them, which could give us a good idea of what the pace of these guys might be. I'm going to scroll up quite a bit though, so give me just a minute to find that. I should have prepared this beforehand, but I didn't think of it. Apart from that, sadly, JM has had to drop out of the season, so after his amazing comeback in the first race, coming back to fourth twice, after being down in last place, he has unfortunately had to drop out and will not take no further part, or at least he's down to reserve, so we might see him sometimes, but there's no guarantee of knowing when he will have time to race. Yeah, the fastest driver actually, out of the Division 2 guys who did the Division 1 race, was Always with a 21.8, Sully at 21.9, Pubdog 22.1. So those three, especially Always and Sully, looking very strong. Sean looked very slow in Division 1. He did a 23.9, which was 3.1 seconds off the pole position time in Division 1. But yeah, we're ready for the first laps already. The first couple of cars out on track. The track limits will be a major concern around here, as they were last year as well. If some of you might remember, there were some heavy penalties during the Qatar Grand Prix last season. Did we do it? I don't know if we did Qatar last season, but Qatar last game. Yeah, Harry, the first one starting a lap here, he is reserving for Red Bull tonight alongside Phantom Fox. So Red Bull with two reserves in this race. Both their drivers dropping out of the race quite early, and that's how it works in our league. Whoever lets us know first that he will not be racing will be replaced first by reserve as well. So that's how Red Bull have ended up with both Harry and Phantom Fox, and can still score points in the Constructors' Championship. Harry's first sector, a 30.520, the Mercedes right behind. That is the car of Mihai. So he'll be crossing the line second. We'll stay on board Harry for the rest of this lap to see him go around the Losail. Is it? I hope I don't get this name wrong. It's the Losail International Circuit, right? Once again, I should have done more research before the race, but that's yeah, the Losail International Circuit. Pronunciation might be wrong, but I do at least know the the correct track name. Harry is already 10% EIS here, so he's burned quite a bit early on in the lap, which will now cost him the final sector, as the EIS deployment is less effective when you are at 10% or lower. And now around the final corner he goes, and up to the line. For Harry it's going to be a 1:22.850, and Mihai right behind him, very close between those two, but Mihai with an 8.27 does go into pole position for now. Yasin Mountain behind him of Desi, 22.523 on pole position again. Now we have the McLaren of Borbodinho, coming up to the line here, also used a lot of his ES earlier, but he puts in a 22.319, goes on to provisional pole once again. Then we have the Sauber of Pix, which is Ewek. He is moved to PC and changed his name. He goes into second place. His teammate Sean getting ready for a lap at the moment. See a Red Bull up to the line as well instead of VCAP. That's the VCAP of Marcelio Gabi with a 21.9 on pole position now. Of course, him having commentated the Division 1 race and didn't see his pace yet. Pinky at 22.1. About 2/10 off Gabriel there in second place right now. Cuckoo invalidating his first lap of session. We've got Sully coming up the line here as well. Around the final corner he goes now. Has a lot of ERS left to play with, so he should be able to put a very good lap together here maybe. 22.210, third place for our championship leader, for the winner of the Belgian Grand Prix. And I think next car could now be the Haas of Thog. He's ahead of Marcelio at least. And I think apart from that, no one ahead is on a hot lap. Sean Muller on a 37.5 this first lap, so I'm assuming he had a major mistake in there somewhere and he will be looking to improve later on in the qualifying session. 12 minutes ago, so plenty of time for him to get a clean lap in. I did see Sean a day earlier, he was looking a bit faster than he was in Division 1, so it shouldn't be quite as hopeless for last season's champion. Didn't have the best of starts this season either in Belgium, I think he finished P7 in the end. Thog goes a bit wide on the final corner, game allows it, he lost time apparently. 24.154 for Thog. Marcelio over the line with 23.175, he gets P9 here. Dog starting his lap as well, they're coming out of turn 1. Always up to the line here, around the final corner now. And right behind the Ferrari of Cuckoo as well. Sean has actually gone to second place in the 22.1, so Sean looking a bit stronger now. Always into 8th. Well off the time he did in Division 1. Cuckoo once again with an invalidated lap time, so he is not doing too well right now. Dog, purple in the first sector, 30.6, let's compare to Gabri. 30.3, okay, how is that purple? He's 3/10 off Gabri. Yeah, shows once again the purple sectors in this game. They still work the same as last year then, so I was wondering about that actually, if they changed how purple works, but they haven't. Purple still works the way that you're being compared to the drivers that you see as a driver in the top left of your screen on your leaderboard, which are always 2 cars behind and in front of you, or if you're, say, in P1, the 4 cars behind you. So in the case of Dog, he was being compared to Thog, Phantom himself, Cuckoo and Bazooka, so okay, he's faster than Thog. That's all that purple means right now. Since everybody else hasn't put a lap in, the 5 cars around him. And Dog over the line at 22.277. 5th place, 56, a full McLaren 3rd row at the moment. Cuckoo has gone for another lap once again here. 30.5 in the first sector, 2/10 of his teammate on very much worn tires at this point. He's on his 3rd lap already, I think, on this compound of softs. And he is a 57.7 in the middle sector. Now, I would compare that to Gabri, but I have absolutely no idea if that's what Gabri's middle sector split time was. But let's see. Kucho's ERS, he's quite low already, and he's burning with Alltech here again. But that ERS is already completely depleted. So he will be losing a load of time up to the line here. Deploy use, it says now. And up to the line for Cuckoo, that's a 1:22.337, and then I think that ERS at the end certainly cost me place against Bobodinho and maybe Dog as well. So yeah, some time to gain for Cuckoo, but he's in 7th place on very worn tires, and only 4/10 off Gabri there in the end, so I think he won't be, can't be too annoyed with that, considering he invalidated on those tires twice beforehand. At least he got a valid lap in, and he's in 7th at the moment. We've got the McLaren of Bobodinho starting his 2nd lap of the session now. Currently in 6th position, a 22.319. His teammate Dog is behind him, or he's on his way to the pit lane here, and then we've got the Aston Martin of Desi, also over the line there, to start his lap. Bobodinho, currently in 6th as I said. Right behind his teammate, very close there between the 2 McLarens, a 22.277 by Dog and a 22.319 by Bobodinho. Uses 6th gear through turn 4 and now keeps it flat through turn 6, sorry, very nice. And into the hairpin he goes. He's up by almost 2/10 in the first sector. So a decent start to the lap, I would say, here. Into turn 7 he goes. A lot of brake and throttle being used at the same time, which is an interesting technique. So it works for him. It's not something you see often. Yeah, he's still on the throttle as he's on the brake, which I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to do. But it's working for him, he's doing rather well right now. Up by 2/10 still, he's matched his previous but he's already below 10% ERS here. So the engine was no longer working at full, or the electric part of the engine I should say, is no longer working at full capacity now. He is got reduced power for the final sector. I'm not sure if he did that on his first lap as well, but either way, he's going to be losing time to the cars around him. And over the line, that's going to be a 122.128. Second place for Bombardino in the end. About 40 thousandths faster than Sean there. Desi over the line with a 22.296, jumps into 7th. He's got Bazooka on a lap here as well, but he is invalidated, so he'll stay in 16th for a little bit longer. And apart from that, Marcelio has just come over the line for his second lap of the session, 8 minutes to go. So probably one more after this for Marcelio. But he invalidates in turn 1 immediately, just a little bit too eager to minimize the distance that he has to drive in turn 1 there as he cuts the corner. Just the tiniest of margins there to the white line, but in the end, if you're over the white line, you're over the white line. It's as simple as that. And Marcelio has got his lap invalidated in turn 1. Sully, I think, has just started his second lap. He's coming through sector 1 here into the double right-hander. Goes down to 5th gear, very nice in the apex there. Just within track limits, exactly what you want to see. And in the first sector, he's up by almost 3 tenths. Well, more like 2.5, but still a massive first sector by Sully there. And that already puts him in range of Gabri. If he can just keep this going to the line, match his second and third sector from his first lap. And Sully was one of the few I saw who wasn't completely out of EIS at the end. So he is managing that a little bit better, I would say. The EIS management is actually quite a big topic in qualifying this year. 3.5 tenths gain now. Sully's really cooking right now, you could say. The EIS management, a big topic in qualifying now, as the hot lap mode doesn't actually use a full laps deployment on most tracks. So you have to find out where you should turn on the overtake button to gain a little bit more time. Of course, it's a free time game to use your entire EIS deployment over a lap, so everyone has to do it, and Sully does it perfectly. 21.758, 4.5 tenths gain, a really good lap by Sully. And you saw his EIS deployment as he came up to the line. He had like the tiniest of the green bar, which shows the deployment limit for the lap left to use. So Sully did really well in the EIS management there. Gabri on his second lap as well now. We'll see what he does with the EIS management. You see a lot of different strategies in the EIS, where people deploy, how much to deploy. But Gabri does have quite a bit left into the final sector as well, 50%. But you have to also look at the green bar. When the green bar hits 0, basically, that's when your EIS gets turned off completely, and that's a massive, massive time loss. Especially with a track like this, where sector 3 is like the biggest flat-out section of the track. Basically, the entire sector 3 is flat apart from the final corner in qualifying this year. So you really need that EIS to keep the speed up, get some acceleration, and have as good a lap time as possible. Gabri beats Sully immediately after, a 21.654 for Gabri, 21.758 for Sully, a 10th separating those two right now. We've got Paddock on his lap again, is he? I'm not sure if he just finished one, but either way, Harry also disappeared in 7th. Yeah, missed that one completely. Kuku up by 4 tenths in the first sector, so here's only looking at a 21.9, and it's rather close, like, with a 22.3, he's currently in 10th, and a 22.1 is 3rd. Incredible how close it is, especially, Sully and Gabri right now in a league of their own, but behind that, it's so close. Kuku up by 3 tenths, and that will put him firmly into P3 if he just brings it over the line. But of course, everybody else in that group as well. Sean, Pinky, Paddock, Harry, all on track as well right now. I'm not sure if all of them are on laps. Kuku has he's deployed all his EIS now, so he will have to go to the line with only the ICE of his engine. Internal combustion engine, 22.104. Still enough of a bit of time lost in the final sector. Might have been caused by that lack of EIS. Pinky just coming through sector 1 here. He's up by 2.5 tenths, so a very good first sector by Pinky. That will put him in 3rd once again. Same as we just talked about for Kuku. If he just keeps this going. Sean Mull, is he on a lap right now? I think he is. He's got the Ferrari of Kuku straight ahead of him, but he... Wait, what? Didn't we just see Kuku complete sector 1? How's he back here? Am I confused? I might be. I was watching... Okay, I just confused Pinky and Kuku. That's incredible. Sorry about that. A bit hectic, the qualifying session right now. But Pinky was then up by 3 tenths and a bit in the middle sector. So he's looking very good and very much on for a 3rd place. Maybe even a little bit more if he has gained in the final sector as well. Over the line, it's a 22.867, indeed, third place for Pinky. Sean up by 2/10 in the middle sector, so he's probably on for a 4th place now. Unless he finds massive time in the final sector. A bit of a lift through turn 15 there. You can take that flat with the right setup, but of course if you run less downforce you might be struggling a bit more. And then gaining it back on the straights. A 21.907, rather close there between Pinky and Sean, but Sean is in 4th for now. Bobolino currently invalidated. Marcelio is back out on track for his final run. 2/10 up in the first sector. He's currently in 13th for the 23.175. Just under 3 minutes to go, so this should be the last lap for Marcelio. Don't think he'll have enough time, unless he wants to go for another lap on the same tire. Only up by 60 thousandths here, so not the best of laps for Marcelio so far. It's only a small improvement. Oh, he keeps the overtake button enabled through turn 14. The rear snaps out. Yeah, I'm not sure that's the matter, especially if you're this low on ERS already. I don't think you want to be using it through the corners. You saw him have a big tank slapper, and that was a lot of time loss. I don't think he'll be improving in the end. We'll see as he comes across the line. It's a 23.429 indeed, does not improve on his previous best lap time. And that should be Marcelio done, unless he is going to go for a recharge lap now and then for another lap on the same tire, but then he will have massive tire wear, of course. Qatar really not kind to tires whatsoever. Especially the softs, they wear out insanely quickly. We've got Desi on a lap right now, currently in P10, a 22.296, his previous best lap time. And he's up by just over a 10th. That will see the Sauber of, I think that is Sean, in the gravel letting him through. But Desi, with an invalidation in the final sector, he will not be improving on this lap. Harry back out on track here, starting his final lap. Currently going through Sector 1, a lot of cars in Sector 1 there on their outlaps ahead of him, so hopefully that won't become a problem for him. Apparently he's up by 6/10, but I'm not sure about that. He's also used lots of ERS already. I'm not sure he's used that much ERS. We're only sector into the lap. 26 thousandths gained in the first sector here by Harry. Mihai coming across the line here, also for his final lap of the session. The front runners. Gabi's in the pit lane, so he's not going to go out again. Yes, it's too late for him now. So he's going to be finishing the session under 21.645. But then everybody else, Sully, Kuko, Bobolino, Papdog, still looking to improve. Harry down significantly here. Mihai down by 10th as well in the first sector. Not the best of laps so far. Okay, very interesting strategy by Mihai here. He's using none, and then yeah, he's switching between none ERS and overtake ERS. That is not something I have seen before in this game. He's currently in 12th, so you would think it's not working too well for him. And now he's just not shifting. What? Mihai, what are you doing? This got fixed, starting his lap as well here. Harry stopping on the... well, not stopping, but letting Pix pass there. Pinky is well off in the gravel in turn 1. What's he up to here? A little bit of rallying? Held it rather nice. Let it quite smooth, like his steering input really consistent. Almost impressive, really. I'm not quite sure how difficult it actually is. I've never tried to go rallying on the F1 game, but I suppose what you don't do if you have to let traffic through and you're bored. Sully up by just over a 10th. He has got out the Red Bulls right in front of him. That should be... is that Phantom Fox? No, that's Harry. So hopefully Harry... is he on a lap right now? I'm not quite sure. Nope, he's not. He's letting Sully through. That would have been very, very bad for Sully if he had been on a lap. But now, Sully does have a clean track ahead of him. And a good chance to steal the position away from Gabi right in the end. Let's see, what's his Sector 2 split? He is up by just over a 10th. Right now they are exactly even if he matches his Sector 3 from before. So we'll see. Sully, can he steal pole position away from Gabi right in the end here? Oh, so close to the track limit. Sully leaving absolutely nothing out on track here. He needs every little bit of time gained, and he's risking the lap to be invalidated because he knows he will probably stay in P2 even with his previous best. And over the line it's a 21.588, and Sully has done enough to get himself onto pole position. But will he stay there? We do still have Kuko and Bobolino coming around the final corner here. Papdog as well, 21.847 into third. Kuko next and over the line. It's a 22.011 into sixth. Bobolino into sixth now, 21.945, dropping Kuko back to seventh. And now Mihai is the last car still going, but he is back in the pit lane. Pinky is also still going around, but yeah, he's invalidated, he will not be improving. That means qualifying is done. And a rather close qualifying there, especially in the midfield, you have to say. Sully on it in the end. After his win last week in Belgium, he's on pole and looking very, very strong again. 21.588. Then Gabri in second, 21.645. Papdog in third, 21.847. And only 20 thousandths behind that, Pinky in fourth, 21.867. And 40 thousandths behind that, Sean in the 21.907. Bobodinho with the 21.945. It is so, so close in that chasing pack behind Sully and Gabri. Absolutely insane. So, the rest of the quality results. Kuku, the first one, not in the 121s, but it's very close there, 22.011. Followed by Pix, a 22.158 in 8th. Harry in 9th, 22.239. Desi in 10th, 22.296. Always in 11th, 22.326. Bazooka 12th, behind 13th, Thunder 14th, Marcelo 15th, and Thog in 16th. And the gap from Always, 22.326 to, like, P3, what was that, like, I missed it now, but I think it was like 4/10. Really, really close in the, the pack behind Sully and Gabri. And even those two, they weren't that far away from the cars behind them. We should be in for a very, very exciting Qatar Grand Prix. Of course, we are in Qatar, so it should stay all dry. That's what the drivers told me as well in the weather report. So, yeah, a dry race. I would expect hard medium or medium hard, mostly. The soft is really, really not a good tire around here. It doesn't last for more than like 5 laps until it just goes off completely. Oh, it's quite warm in here. I have to keep myself refreshed. Otherwise, I think I would just die. I don't even want to think about how it might be for the drivers today. Of course, it's only sim racing, so they'll be fine. But it is quite warm. You can get quite sweaty over a race distance, especially if it's an intense race. But yeah, we're ready for the race start. From my end, drivers are just adjusting their fuel loads, strategies, maybe some last-minute setup changes that I can do on the box May. Of course, the front wing, brake bias, tire pressures. That's the stuff you can move around during, between quali and race. But apart from that, yeah, everything is sorted. And hopefully another exciting race in store for us here in Division 2. We've had plenty of exciting races before, and I think we are in for another one here in Qatar. It's the 5 lights. They're on, and we're ready for the race start. It's lights out, and away we go, and Sully with a decent start. But look at Papdog, he comes away really, really well there, and he is in the middle of Gabri and Sully now, heading into turn 1. Gabri on the inside, Papdog in the middle, Sully on the outside. Who leads after turn 1? And it does seem to be... Oh, Sully's round! Sully's been tapped by Papdog, and he's round and drops last, and I think that's a winglet from Papdog as well. So both, Papdog with damage, and Sully round. Gabri leads the race, followed by Pinky, and then Papdog battling his McLaren teammate Bobodinho into turn 4. Papdog does come out. Oh, does he come out ahead? It's very close. It's still side by side. Bobodinho now is ahead, and Harry looking in there as well, but doesn't quite get that done. And then Kuku up the inside of Pix there into the hairpin. Back up into 7th he goes. But what a start that was, and an absolute nightmare of a start for Sully. Gabri though, he will be absolutely loving this. Both Papdog and Sully very much out of the fight for the raceman. At least I think Papdog's out, considering his wing damage. I'm not sure if that was his winglet. It looked like it. It looked to have been from McLaren. That makes sense considering the content he made with Sully. Kuku and Sean now side by side, heading into the flat-out right-handers, and Kuku does go ahead of the Sauber, and he's immediately hounding the Red Bull of Harry as well. But at the front, still the same. Gabri followed by Pinky, then Bobodinho. Papdog can't keep the same pace, and indeed, the front left end plate on the McLaren. Oh, sorry. The front left end plate on the McLaren is missing. He's staying out on track though, but he has lost DRS to the top 3 already. So Gabri, Pinky and Bobodinho pulling away from the field here. And Pinky has gone for the hard compound, so he's doing very well right now to be running in 2nd place. That start chaos might have helped him quite a bit. Sully already doing well on his comeback. He's already back up to 12th with a double to last, so yeah, a lot of work to do, but he's already gotten a couple of cars there. Desi, Mihai, Always, and Bazooka all have been overtaken by Sully already, and now he's looking at Marcelio. There he goes, up the inside, into turn 5. Can Sully pull this one off? Marcelio on the outside, goes a bit deep. Desi, maybe invited in? Nah, oh, maybe now? Nope. We also have Pix and Cuckoo fighting over 7th here through the hairpin, and Pix has come out in front. Thog seems to have picked up some damage as well. I think his front right end plate is missing. He goes very, very deep and invites Sully in to pull alongside. Or is that... No, that's never gonna work. Sully had to pull off that one. That would have been very, very risky. Thog goes off the track now. Sully maybe around the outside. No, once again. Can't quite pull it off, but I think he's gone for the switchback. And now with the run... Oh, contact mate! Sully just about kept that car pointing the right way. That was very, very scary. Thog dives back in there. Bit of chaos going on here, as I think Marcelio's looking to get involved as well. Sully gets pushed off track. What is going on here in the midfield? Mihai as well getting involved. They're 3 wide now. Sully completely off the track. Now Thog has come out ahead once again. Goes off track. Sully back alongside. And as we go into the DRS zone, there comes Desi on the outside of Mihai as well. Absolutely insane fight. Papdog is in the pits now for a wing change. Thog is in as well. And Sully, he's got so many cars behind him with DRS. He could be in big trouble. He also has DRS, thankfully for him though, so he should be fine. I think he picked up DRS and Thog, he passed him after detection point. Mihai, Desi, Bazooka battling to turn 1 there. Bazooka on the inside line of Desi. Desi is now switched to the inside to turn 2. But Bazooka does seem to be a little bit ahead. Desi does actually pull through. Very nice battling now between those guys. But I think Desi has to find it complete. Mihai looks around the outside of Bazooka. That's never gonna work. Yeah, no chance. Mihai has to back out and actually gets past Marcelio. Doesn't get past Marcelio as he slams the door in his face, going through turn 6. Mihai with a bit of wing damage as well, I think, on the front left end plate. So much wing damage with all of these guys. As Sean has passed Harry for 4th. Yeah, front lane end plate missing from Mihai. Harry battling the 2 Saubers. And... I thought he was going to get overtaken by Pix down the exit with a bit of contact with Sean, it looked like, but he's fine. He is staying in 5th. The top 3 pulling away more and more now. 2.8 seconds gap between Bobardino in 3rd and Sean in 4th. So Gabri, Pinky and Bobardino in a race of their own right now. And Bobardino is sure looking at the back of Pinky and thinking, I have to get past here, because Pinky does not seem to be able to stay close to Gabri. And there is a risk of Gabri dropping the DRS. And that would be very, very bad for Bobardino. Pinky can get it back later when he pits for the mediums. Bobardino needs to stay close enough to Gabri. Oh, almost able to go for the move for Pinky. Marcelio in the pit lane now. Harry has gotten back alongside Sean to turn 1. Sean comes around the outside, now to the inside for turn 2. And he has to cut the position once again. He is still hanging on to 4th here. Penalty for Thog, multiple warnings for track limits. Desi is still all over Sully here. Sully is back into 8th now, chasing after Phantom, who is running in 7th. Puffdog speeding the pit lane gets a 10-second penalty. Cuckoo as well pitted. I didn't catch that, so Cuckoo as well. Puffdog onto the soft he goes. I think it's the second pit already. Puffdog with his second pit of the race. Cuckoo comes out just in front of Marcelio. I guess he didn't change his wing the first time around, or he got wing damage again, which would be very, very unlucky for him. Desi and Sully and Bazooka in a little train here from 8th to 10th, chasing after Phantom. We'll see if they're working together or if they're going to try and battle each other. Of course, there's still a very long way to go, so I think the smart play would be to work together and try and catch the cars ahead, so all 3 of these guys can benefit instead of fighting between each other and yeah, going for P8 right now. We'll see how they go. Of course, if Desi feels he's faster, he might also go for the overtake on Sully to make sure he's the one chasing after Phantom. We'll see now as he comes out to the main straight. Desi is using overtake, Sully's not. And I think Desi is going to get him here. Mihai in the pits now as well. And indeed, Desi goes for the move on Sully into turn 1 up the inside, and that's a rather easy move. Sully doesn't fight it too much, and I think they are working together a little bit, at least, since Sully did not even make any sort of attempt to keep his position there. He seems rather happy to just yeah, slingshot past Desi the next lap around and have Desi slingshot past him this time, so they both just gain time on the cars ahead. Right now the car ahead in question is Phantom, who himself is 3.5 seconds back from this little train, the 2 Saubers and Harry, but they are battling quite hard. Mihai comes on the pits just behind, just in front of Thog. It's close, they're side by side into turn 1. Thog, does he go around the outside of Mihai? Yes, he does. But now Mihai with the outside into turn 2 has to back out of that. Thog does take P13 for now at least, but he does of course have slightly old tire, well, 2 lap out mediums against fresh hards who are that's a bit cold. Fox left the tire advantage right now. Bobodinho with a time penalty, the first of the front runners, with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That will severely hamper his chances of winning this race. But of course, still a very long way to go. I would not rule out penalties for Gabri and Pinky as well. It is so easy to get a track limit penalty around here. I think we've got picks going for a move on Harry here. Or at least trying to. He's in the slipstream, he's defending the inside, back to the outside, Harry goes. And he has held on to P5 for at least another lap. Here comes Bazooka on Sully, up the inside into turn 1. But no chance. Sully is well ahead there actually, going to the braking zone. But Sully didn't go for the move on Desi, interestingly. So he's staying put in P9 there. But they are slowly gaining on Phantom at the moment, who is slowly losing to the Sauber of picks ahead. So I think at this point the race has calmed down a little bit. The guys aren't constantly swapping positions anymore. It's a bit more strategical, tactical, waiting for the pit stop phase and just trying to get good lap times in, close the gaps in the cars around you, extend the gaps in the cars behind you, all of that sort of stuff, rather than trying to go for immediate track position everywhere. Papdog on those softs, of course, currently the fastest car on track, but that will not get him much, considering he is in 16th and a minute behind the leaders. I think he would prefer to be at the front and lapping slightly slower. But he did make 2 pit stops, and I assume the second one because he didn't get the wing change first time around. Harry now with a 3-second time penalty, stop out of the DRS to Sean, and that means Pix is very easily about to overtake him here on the main straight with the DRS. Not much Harry can do about this one. Pinky's taking the lead from Gabri as well, and Bombardino also. Big battle here to turn 1 between the leaders. Pinky in the lead, Gabri and Bombardino still fighting for second. Bombardino on the inside line through turn 2. Gabri has hung it around the outside for now, but they're going up into turn 4, and Gabri has kept it. Gabri second place still. Meanwhile, Sully has passed Desi, and he is now in DRS range, or almost in DRS range, to Phantom. I think by the end of the lap he will have him, since he does seem to be a bit faster than the Red Bull ahead of him. And after that he can start chasing after the Saubers and the Red Bull of Harry as well. So Sully's comeback going rather well. He's already up into 8th, about to take 7th, I would say, in the next couple of laps. But then a 4-second gap between him and the next train. Marcello back in the pits again. At this point he's close to getting lapped, so this is very much not ideal for him. That's a wing change and some medium compound tires. Yellow flags in sector 1 for Fogg. Fogg is spun around coming out of turn 2, and he does have major wing damage there. The entire front left, the left hand part of that wing is basically just a wooden plank at this point, I think. Everything else, all the winglets are gone, and that's a very easy overtake for Fabdog as well there, as he drives past Fogg like he's a Formula 2 car, which, I mean, that does look a little bit like a Formula 2 wing on the left-hand side, right-hand side, sorry, that is. Marcello rejoins in 16th here, and he has been lapped by the top 3, and now he's in the middle of the 2 Saubers here, so he's currently been lapped by the top 4. Gabin didn't quite get Pinky to turn 1. Sully has gotten Phantom already. That was rather quick. Phantom with a lot of ERS to play with those, so he is probably just going to stay on the back of Sully here and maybe use him to get closer to Harry up ahead. Of course, Harry with a 3-second time penalty. That will come into effect at the end. Bobodinho, Gabri, Pinky still the leading pack. No one really looking like they're gonna be able to catch him. The gap is staying pretty consistent now between them and Sean though. So Sean does seem to have decent pace, just once that gap is there it's very difficult to close it, as they will be gaining on him every single time they go down that main straight. So for Sean it's gonna be a very tough task to get back into the fight for the race win. The safety car would really help him, since his pace does seem to be quite strong. Fogg in the pit lane now after his unfortunate incident, and he is going to be lapped as well here. So Fogg and Marcello both are lapped down already, we're only 9 laps in, so it's been a very hectic Qatar Grand Prix for those two. Gabri had a look up the inside of Pinky, Vodinho had a look up the inside as well, but neither of them in the end able to complete the move. Meanwhile, all rather calm in the train of Sully, Phantom, Desi and Bazooka. They are all just following each other around. Thok has come out, lapped, and he's almost round again. Nice catch though, at least. His rear tire should be warm now, and he's about to be lapped by the Aston Martin of Owise here. Goes to the right hand side of the track, lets him through what is he doing? He's letting him through or not? Either way, Owise is through now, and Thok is off! And Thok is out! Thok has crashed out of the Qatar Grand Prix, and he's brought out a safety car! A full core safety car on lap 8 of this Grand Prix. And that is awful, awful, awful news for the hard runners, because mediums, 20 laps, oh, that's a big stretch. That is gonna be a tough, tough stint, but I mean, they have to pit. So they either have to do a very, very long medium stint now and risk getting punctures at the end, or do a 2-stop. And either way, that's not gonna be any sort of result for them from here on out. But for the medium runners, this is perfect timing. The hards, you normally pit around like lap 13, 14, I think. So this is a bit earlier than they would have wanted to, but the hards can go to the end from here without much problem. Oh, Gabri, don't speed, that was close. Big knock-up by Gabri, but they've all slowed down the car just enough for the pit lane. But of course, every single one of these guys in. Pix is lightly dropping behind Harry here. Phantom will double stack behind Harry as well. Sully is staying out. Penalty for Desi for speeding the pit lane. Interesting strategy call by Sully here as he stays out on track. And he does take the lead on track, but he will of course have very old tires now. So he's probably banking on something similar to what happened in Spa, I believe. He also did this in Spa and got, yeah, saved by another safety car. So I guess if you're down the order, it can be a nice gamble, but the safer play definitely would have been to pit. Although, I mean, then again, yeah, Sully was one of those hard runners, so he is... Yeah, he would have had to pit for mediums now and try to make those last to the end. So instead he's gone for the gamble of staying out and hoping for another safety car that can bring him back into the fight now. Apart from him though, every single driver now on fresh tires. So you'll have a very tough task here. Marcelio is back on the lead lap, so this has very much saved him, saved the Pop Dogs. Both of them were way off the field, and they can now catch back up. Of course, it will take a while. They have to basically do a full lap more under the safety car conditions than everybody else will. But the new order in this race, slowly leading from Pinky, then Gabri. Pinky on those mediums, he will be fast at the beginning, but those tires will drop so much come the end of the race. Gabri, Bobardino with the penalty in 4th, Sean in 5th, Harry also with the penalty in 6th, Pix in 7th, then we've got Desi in 8th, Phantom in 9th, Bazooka running in 10th, Owise in 11th, Mihai in 12th, Kuko in 13th, there he is, and Pupdog in 14th, followed by Marcelio in 15th. That is the new running order of this Qatar Grand Prix. 19 laps to go then, we're lap 10 of 29. I would guess the safety car will come in at the end of lap 11, maybe 12. It depends on how long Pupdog and Marcelio will actually take to catch up to these guys now. Do have quite a bit of track to still, yeah, go through to actually get on the back of this train. Of course, if they take too long, the safety car will restart without them being in the train, so they do have to get a bit of a move on. They can't, they can't just cruise around the track for the rest of the safety car conditions. They have to actually catch up. Desi is back in the pit lane, even though he was on the hards. Mihai is also on old hards, so Desi back to the mediums. Okay, oh, he's serving his speeding penalty, of course, but it does put him on a very difficult strategy now. So a strategical choice for Desi here. He would rather be on the medium and not have a penalty than be on the hard and have the penalty. Will he drop behind Pupdog and Marcelio? I don't think he will. He should stay in 13th here. We see him in the pit lane there. Marcelio in the pit lane as well now. Actually, it's going to be close. It's going to be very close if we do Desi and Pupdog, but I think Pupdog has gotten him just about, yes. Sean? What happened to Sean? What happened to Sean? Is he letting him back through? Sean into... he stopped from 5th to 7th there. Pix let him back through. So has he spun? Not sure what happened. Either way, Sean is now behind Harry. Pix let him back through. So I guess both Pix and Harry immediately tried to get past him while he was off track, since then you're allowed to overtake the car that's off track under safety car conditions. And Pix was a little bit too slow to keep it. He didn't quite get ahead of Sean before he rejoined. Marcelio now, I think will restart at the end of lap 12 now, because Marcelio will not catch on this lap. But apart from him, everybody is now on the train. Desi and Tapdog have caught back up. The safety car has not been called in as they go into sector 3, so yeah, one more lap of safety car running and we'll restart at the end of lap 12. And of course, the longer the safety car stays out, the better for the medium runners. For Pinky, Phantom, Bazooka, Always, Cuckoo and Desi. Their tires will have less racing laps to run, less tire wear at the end. So they will want the safety car to stay out as long as possible. Always disconnecting. I'll drop him a new invite as soon as I can. Of course, you never want to see a driver disconnecting, but if it does happen, you'd prefer to happen under safety car, so... there we go. Invite to Always. So he has gotten a bit lucky there, with the timing of his disconnect at least. Marcelio is now caught up, almost. Desi is back in the pits again. So he's gonna go back onto the hards, I would assume. He will drop to last in doing this. But it does mean his tires will last in the end a lot easier than they would have otherwise. And indeed, new, well, slightly worn hards, the hards he put on for his first pit stop on a safety car. He's dropped to last in all of this now. But I think it is worth getting rid of the 10-second penalty. That 10-second would have very much ruined any chance of him scoring a good amount of points in this race. But yeah, he is now in last place and will have a lot of work to do to get back into the point scoring places. It'd be quite interesting to see how Sully conducts his restarts, if he tries to actually hang on to the lead or if he lets Pinky go. I'm sure Pinky will be trying to get Sully as soon as possible to have a car between him and Gabri. Because Pinky, what he needs to do here is pull a gap. He needs to make sure he is as far ahead as possible before those mediums start to wear out and the hards will become significantly faster at the end. So if, yeah, the further ahead Pinky is, the better for him. Of course, I mean, well, that's always the case, but especially so in this scenario, because if he is in a DRS train at the end, he will get, yeah, left behind by anyone who is in a battle with him. He will not be able to hang on to those places. He needs to be far ahead to stay, especially if he wants to win this race. But even if it's about, say, hang on to a podium, he needs to be far away. Get distance between him and the rest of the field. Always back in just in time for the restart. Safety car has been called in at the end of lap 12 here. Sully now slowing down the field. He will decide when the race gets restarted. No take until the start-finish line, of course. Sully has to slow down with the safety car far ahead. He can't go yet, safety car. The pit lane entry is quite late, so he has to wait rather long around here. He's slowing down the pack quite a bit now. Of course, making sure he gets the best possible restart. He needs it. Still has not restarted as we approach the final corner. And maybe... no, still not. Taking a wide line through the final corner, setting up for a good exit. And now he's gone on the... oh my god, it's a crash! Harry and Bobodinho have crashed in the final corner before we even get to the line. Sully is restarting and Pinky is all over him. Pinky with a great restart there, he's caught Sully completely. Yeah, Sully did not catch Pinky off guard at all, and Sully has lost the lead. Pinky into the lead, exactly what he needed, exactly what I said he needs. He needs to build a gap now. Bobodinho back to last place there, and Harry in 14th. Not sure what those two happened, what those two were doing. But yeah, they made contact in the final corner and were both spun around off track there. So absolute nightmare restart for Bobodinho, who's in the fight in the race with Sully, with a bit of a slide there. He's already dropped back a second to Pinky, as Sean has a little look up the inside of Gabri, but doesn't quite get in there. Gabri now up the inside of Sully, maybe? No, he thought about it, but Sean, look at that! Round the inside of Gabri he goes. What a move by Sean! And has he pulled it off? They're making contact. Gabri, forced far off to the inside, has to take a bit of throttle out of the car, and that allows Sean to move ahead. So Sean is taking third place here. Always and Pix battling over 7th there, and Always has come out ahead. Cuckoo now as well, going around yourself the Sauber, and there he goes, up onto 8th. Sean is now in the back of Sully here, and he needs to get past him. Pinky with a massive gap in the front, over 2 seconds. This is exactly what I said he needed. He has broken the DRS, and now he can simply use those mediums for as long as they're still fast to build as much of a gap as possible to this massive train that is being, formed behind Sully here. So they all want to get around him on those 13 lap old hearts. And here comes Sean. Into turn 1 he goes, up the inside, no DRS just yet. It'll be enabled from next lap onwards. And Sean has gotten Sully into turn 1. He's up into 2nd place and he can start chasing after Pinky. But everybody else behind still squabbling. 4th position here, Bazooka trying to go around. Yet still Phantom through turn 2 and Yas pulled that off somewhat. They're still alongside into turn 4. Phantom now actually looking at Gabri, but not quite. Bazooka fighting Always now, as Always has gotten the Haas and he's up into 6th. And now Cuckoo up the inside of Bazooka, who goes very, very deep there. Oh, and Always, what's happened there? Oh, and now free right. Oh, and there's a crash. Big crash. That is the Mercedes of Mihai, Bazooka, and Always all involved. As, there's a bit of chaos on the exit of the hairpin. And there was a bit of wings flying as well. I lost completely the overview of who actually got damaged in the end there. Pubdog moving from the field here as well, now up into 8th. His teammate Bobadillo was still in 15th after the crash and the restart. So McLaren with a lot of work to do in this race still. Pubdog has gotten at least a couple of cars at this point. Wow, what a restart. Complete and utter carnage there. Sully with a time penalty now. 3 seconds, penalty for multiple warnings. As he could not keep within track limits on those old hearts. He has actually stayed on in DRS range to Sean, which will help him significantly in keeping Gabri behind. But Phantom and Cuckoo are looking at the back of that Ferrari of Gabri. Phantom, is he gonna go for up to... no, not quite. Into turn 1, he's stuck behind Gabri for a little while longer. Always into the pit lane, and gets a speeding penalty. Mihai in as well. So those two got damaged in that little incident coming out of the hairpin. Bazooka seems to have gotten away with it. And now it's calmed down a little bit. What a hectic restart. We still have Pubdog, Pigs, and Bazooka. Bazooka gets a penalty very close together here in 7th to 9th. Cuckoo has gotten past Phantom here on the hairpin. But Phantom with a good exit out of the hairpin. Now on the inside into turn 7. Is he able to get back past the Ferrari? It looks like it. Oh, bit of a slide, and it cost him. The slide has cost him in the end. A moment oversteer cost him the speed that he needed to stay alongside the Ferrari, and Cuckoo has claimed P5 for him. And now he's in the back of his teammate here with currently the better tires, but for how much longer? And of course, the Williams Sully is doing a very, very good job on those old hearts, hanging on to the back of Sean in the DRS range just about, which will enable him to keep defending from Gabri and keep that position, which is very crucial for his race because he needs a safety car. And of course, the further ahead he is when the safety car comes out, the better for him. But here we go, onto the main straight another time. The gap between Pinky and Sean at this point, 3.7 seconds. Pinky extending that gap more and more. He's doing exactly what he needs here. But no one able to put a move on anyone. They're all stuck. Pix gets Pubdog and Bazooka as well, maybe. Bazooka up the inside of the McLaren. And indeed, oh, does he? Pubdog has howled around the outside. Beautiful move for Pubdog as he claims back 8th position. Desi and Harry battling over 10 for the final points paying position. Desi moves round the outside of Harry through turn 2. Marcelio also getting involved here. A massive battle as the McLaren of Bombardino is also caught up in the back of these guys and gets involved a little bit. Desi with a bit of a slide. Harry taps him on the back there. But all stays the same. And there goes Marcelio up the inside of the Red Bull, the B-Carb. Bombardino with a 3-second time penalty from multiple warnings as he goes off track in the hairpin. And Harry has held on against Marcelio once again. Meanwhile, Sully has dropped DRS to Sean. Cuckoo has overtaken his teammate for 4th place. Sully now back at the DRS of Sean. Wow, what a race this is turning out to be here in Qatar. I am at a complete... I can't keep up with everything that's happening on track right now. Absolutely insane battles and absolutely lovely to see. Gabri is dropping back significantly. He has just about still gotten DRS, but a bit of a slide there, and that allows Phantom to pull alongside as Cuckoo goes for the move on Sully as well for 3rd place here, and he maybe can get short as well. No, doesn't have enough ERS. Sully now, with much more ERS, actually does stay alongside on the outside line, but on those old hard tires, doesn't have the grip to actually move around the outside. Phantom though has gotten Gabri. Pubdog, Bazooka, Pigs fighting through turn 1 here. Bazooka comes on ahead, then Pix, and then Pop Dog. As Harry and Desi once again battling through turn 2. And Desi this time moves around the outside Cuckoo with a second 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. Harry and Desi and Bombardino 3 wide. What a battle, and it's actually turned out completely clean. Bombardino comes out in 10th, Harry 11th, Desi 12th, and Marcelio maybe looking to get involved again. Round gets now of Desi here? No, not quite. Able to pull that one off. Alwise and Mihai as well. Certain places there in 14th. Papdog and Pix still. What a battle this is in the midfield. Papdog has dropped out of DRS range to Bazooka now, which will mean he's vulnerable to Pix next time around unless he can get back in the DRS range of Bazooka through the final sector here. 4.7 seconds the gap between Sean and Pinky. It's looking very good for Pinky right now. The question is just, will those mediums be able to hang on? Another penalty to Papdog. I think that's the second one of the race now? No, it's first, sorry. Cuckoo is definitely about to overtake Sean here. He's all over the back of him. And Cuckoo will claim second place in this race. But he does have a 3-second time penalty that will be added to his final race time here. Sully at this point on 17 lap old hearts. It's about time he comes in and changes those. He might be close to puncture territory soon. Pix tries to find a gap to go around Papdog, but this time not got the straight line speed to pull alongside. Desi and Harry once again at battle in the first couple of corners here, and this time Desi has gotten it done into turn 1 and gets ahead of the Red Bull. The gap now between Cuckoo and Pinky, 4 seconds, but Cuckoo does seem to be gaining just a little bit. Phantom with a lot of ERS to play with here, as he is behind the Williams of Sully, 17 lap old hards against 8 lap old mediums. And also worth noting, look at those tire temps, 110 degrees, 11 degrees on the front left for Sully. The left hand side of tires especially, they get completely destroyed around here, around this track. Especially the front left, but the rear left as well, 107 for Sully. The tire temps are so tricky around this track, they overheat constantly. And that's going to be a struggle, especially for those old tires like Sully and like the guys who are on mediums. Their tires will be worn out quite a bit and they will overheat quite a bit come the end of the race. And if we see punctures, it will be the front left. And I would not rule any punctures. Still 10 laps to go on those mediums. It's a very long way until the end of the race. Phantom is not able to make a move on Sully work this time around. Once again, Sean sticks behind Cuckoo. Papdog does stick behind Bazooka as well, but Pix tries to go around the outside here, but simply not gap there anyway. He's taken out half of the... How's he done that? He's removed half the 15-meter board. I didn't think that was possible. Sully, oh, he's just about in DRS range. I think he is going to drop on this lap. Those hards simply not got the pace of the fresh tires ahead, but he's doing a brilliant job to still being into 4th place, but he does need to pit eventually. And if there's no more safety cars in this race, Sully right now is looking at a P13. He will drop behind Marcelio and it will be a long way. Sully is in big trouble here, needs another safety car. And he has indeed dropped out of the ERS range to Sean 1.2 seconds back, and he doesn't have the ERS to push back into it. So he will now be very vulnerable to Phantom. And maybe Gabri as well. They both have a little bit more. Gabri a little bit more ERS, Phantom way more ERS. Phantom will definitely get him. Gabri is a question mark. But it would be very important for Gabri to get him here, because otherwise Phantom has a chance to pull away from Gabri. Sean is barely hanging on the ERS of Cuckoo, who is gaining on Pinky. He's helping Sean quite a bit right now. Phantom takes P4 from Sully. Gabri is too far back and still stuck behind the Williams for at least another lap. Papdog has gotten Bazooka, Pix sticks behind. 3.5 seconds the gap between Pinky and Cuckoo. Cuckoo with a penalty, so the fight is Pinky against Sean. But of course, Sean having the DRS of Cuckoo right now is helping him. He's being pulled along by the Ferrari. And once those mediums lose their pace, that's when Sean will come into his own here. And Sean, seriously, this is not over. The gap might be big there. It looks big, and it is big. But you will see at the end how much those mediums drop off. And I think Sean is looking very good for a race win here, because the next driver on fresh at this point not really, but hards from the last safety car period is Gabri. and he is still stuck behind Sully, and then also has Phantom between him and Sean, and he's not in the ES range to Sean. So as long as those mediums actually drop off in the way I think they will, it is probably a Sean race win, and if they don't drop off like that, it will be a Pinky race win. It's between those two at this point. Unless, of course, there is another safety car which will throw everything upside down. And here comes Gabri now. Can he get Sully this time around? I don't think he will. Sully might actually get Phantom back, but Sully doesn't have the ES, and that will allow Gabri to box and win behind Phantom, and that will then be the inside line for Gabri, and that should be him ahead, because, yeah, Sully does not have the tires to make any sort of move around the outside of anyone, and certainly not Gabri. So Sully still dropping back, but he's now in 6th place, 4 seconds back in the next car of Papdog. But that really don't matter for Sully. He's gonna have to pit soon. Those hearts are surely looking at a puncture soon. I mean, they're 20 laps long. They can't be, yeah, they can't be good at this point. 24.090 by Owise, fastest lap of the race. Marcelio with a 3-second time penalty here as well now. That's his second of the race now. Sean has dropped out of the ES to Kuko. He's done a very good job of dropping him there, but he is completely out of ES, and that might allow Sean to actually get back into the ES range here through the final sector, and yes he does. Look at it, Sean gaining so much here in the flat out sections. Even though he's quite low on ES as well, just not being below 10% is the difference maker, and Sean has gotten back into the ES range of Kuko. At least one lap, and now Gabri all over the back of Phantom. I think those mediums of Phantom are showing a bit of wear at this point, and it will allow Gabri to claim 4th place here rather easily. Gabri flying past, Sully in the pits now, finally. He has given up on the gamble for another safety car, and he will drop back so far. He will be behind Marcelio in 13th place. And that's a set of medium compound tires for Sully. Marcelio in the pits as well actually, so Sully will come out in 12th. But from here, maybe a handful of points he can still grab, but he's quite far behind Desi and Harry still. So even that will be a tough task for Sully. After winning the first race in Belgium, a nightmare race for Sully today as he got involved in an incident with Papdog at turn 1, dropped to last place, and then went for a strategy gamble on a safety car, and that gamble just did not pay off whatsoever, and now he's looking at a 0 points scored for tonight. And even if he does get a safety car now, he will have so many cars in between him and the front runners, but he of course wants to be. He got pole position, remember. Sully, his pace looked really good. He got pole position, he was looking fast all race, moving from the field, but one bad strategy call, and even when he made a bad strategy call, he was holding on to those places really well. Just, of course, he has to pit eventually. Those tires will get a puncture, and even if they don't, you're not allowed to do a 0 stop in Formula 1. You have to stop at least once, use at least 2 different tire compounds. And that has screwed Sully over in the end. He is running in 12th now, 12 seconds back from P11. As Pix moves past Papdog for P6. Kuko now only 2 seconds behind Pinky, which is interesting. Kuko, I mean, either Kuko is just simply way faster than Pinky, or he is better at managing his tires, or got a better setup for managing his tires than Pinky does, because that gap is coming down rapidly, and they are on the same tire. 13 lap old mediums. And Sean, he seems to be slower than Kuko. If Kuko didn't have that penalty, he would be like on for a race win. But he does have the penalty, so as long as he can't drop Sean, which even if he does, surely those mediums, even if he doesn't manage them well, will drop off at the end. But the fact that the gap has come down so much, yeah, Sean, even if he doesn't seem to have the same pace as Kuko, he looks really good for a race win right now. Meanwhile, Phantom hanging on to the back of Gabri here, just doing what he needs to. He's probably looking to just conserve this P5, as he knows his tires will not be good at the end. He will not be able to actually beat Gabri. So why not just use Gabri to extend the gap to cars behind as much as possible. As Bombardino gets a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings for extending track limits. Sean once again just about hanging on to the ES of Kuko. It's getting really tough for him to stay with Kuko, but he's just about managing it each time and then gaining back on the straight. He was like a second back, and then at the end of the track he was only 5 tenths back, so that shows you just how strong the DRS is around here. Pubdog has gotten Bazooka for 7th once again. The battle between Pigs, Pubdog, Bazooka, and now Bobardino. Yeah, raging on. Desi has claimed P10 back from Harry. Of course, Desi without a penalty, Harry with a penalty, so this really is not a penalty for a battle for position. Well, for track position, but not for the result. There we go. Since Desi will beat him either way, unless Harry builds a 6-second gap come the end of the race. We've got Always back in the pit lane, probably for his softs to go for a fast lap attempt. Yep, indeed, soft compound tires for Always. Currently the fastest lap is a 24.090 by him. Sully actually didn't beat Always' best time. Sully at this point 7 seconds back from Harry. 5 laps to go, maybe Sully can pick up 1 point. But then he will also need to build a good gap to Desi. So I think Sully... Yeah, we are looking at a P11 finish at best if he beats Harry. He won't beat Desi, I'm pretty certain, with the penalty that Sully has. So not enough laps to go in this Grand Prix. Cuckoo has almost caught up to Pinky as we approach the final few laps in the race. We're on lap 25 out of 29. And it's heating up here. In terms of the battle for the race win. Sully now at the fastest lap, 23.713. He took it personally that I said he didn't beat it, and then he went and did it. Desi trying to go around here instead of Harry here, but not quite. Now with the overtake enabled, he's trying to go back around the outside through turn 4, but doesn't go for it in the end. Maybe a switchback? Nope, can't get alongside. Harry's losing the space. Always now disconnecting from the session. Once again, second time this happened in this race, as that will drop him further back in the field. But I think at this point, I'm not sure if he actually he might have just rage quit, but he just pitted for softs, so you would think at least he would go ahead and get the fastest lap if he or at least try to. That does not cost him that chance. I'll invite him back in, but I think that's his fastest lap attempt gone, because by the time he's back in, those softs will be quite worn out. We're getting quite close to the point where Pinky is... Yeah, surely at this point Pinky must be feeling confident that he can win this race, because even if Cuckoo gets into his DRS range, he's not the one he needs to worry about. He needs to worry about Sean. And Sean does not seem to be in a position to overtake Cuckoo whatsoever. So even though Sean should have a massive tire advantage, those mediums would be completely destroyed at this point, I think. Yeah, it's not looking good for him. Oh, Cuckoo with a bit of a slide there. He's caught it, but it's cost him further time to Pinky, and Sean will not be liking that. He needs Cuckoo to actually catch him. As we approach the final laps of the race, we're on lap 26 of 29 now. Only 3 laps to go at this one, so 3.5 laps to go right now. Pinky might be on his way to a race win here in Qatar, unless Sean can do something about it here right at the end, with those mediums dropping off. I did say there's a chance of punctures, so Phantom, he was right behind Gabriel for so long, and he's not dropped back 3 seconds, so that's how you can see those mediums are destroyed. Cuckoo and Pinky are doing a mega job still to have the pace that they currently do. But Sean surely now is to get a move on Cuckoo. He needs to get ahead so he can start chasing after Pinky. Is this the lap that Sean finally goes to move? No, he turns off his ERS completely. Non-ERS mode for Sean. I think that's a mistake. I think you should have gone for it and started chasing after Pinky yourself, because it does not seem like Cuckoo has the pace to actually catch Pinky. Or at least not in a time frame that Sean needs. I think Sean is faster than Cuckoo at this point, but he can't show it while he's behind him. But I mean, Cuckoo is so close to the DRS range of Pinky now. 1.3 seconds, 1.2 seconds. Maybe he can actually catch him. And that would then allow a fight for the race between Sean and Pinky. Cuckoo with a 3-second time penalty, 6-second time penalty actually. Yeah, is effectively out of the fight, unless he can get a massive amount of warnings removed, which would be quite unlikely. 1.1 seconds, he is so close. And Pinky, he's got a lot of ERS saved up here. We'll see how he uses this. Does he try and keep them out of DRS? Or does he use it to actually defend? He's keeping him out of DRS here. He's burning overtake. And that will mean another lap of Cuckoo not being in DRS range. because he's below 10%, Pinky isn't. Pinky has kept him away from his DRS for lap 28. At this point, Sean needs to go for it. He needs to, because there's only one more chance after this. There's only one more chance to get Pinky. So he needs to pass Cuckoo now, catch Pinky on the next lap, and then overtake him into turn 1 of lap 29. So there we go. Sean, yes, using overtake. Here he goes. Finally takes P2 of the race, slingshots into DRS of Pinky, and next lap will be his chance. Lap 29 will come down to the last lap. Sean is now close enough. He's in DRS range. He's used Cuckoo perfectly, I have to say, for the slingshot, and now he's in DRS range with Pinky. And Swing is caught up to Desi and Harry actually. He now needs to gain 6 seconds to Desi to get him out of DRS range. And it's on for the race win. We can't look at the battles in the midfield right now, I have to apologize. Time penalty is still flying in. And you can see Pinky struggling to get the car turn into the corner. Those tires are completely destroyed. And I think, with how close Sean is following through the middle sector here, surely he's able to put a move to turn 1. But we'll see. Pinky has a lot of ERS, but so does Sean. They're burning a bit here in the third sector, of course. Pinky wants to extend to get as much as possible for the DRS zone. Sean wants to get as close as possible for the DRS zone. Cuckoo, he's here, but not really a factor with his penalty. Here we go then. This will be crucial. They exit out the final corner. Pinky has about 50% more ERS than Sean, but will it matter? As we go onto the main straight, Sean will have the ERS, he's burning overtake, and so is Pinky. And there we go, lap 29, the last lap of the race. Sean is slipstream, pulls to the inside line, into turn 1. I think Sean has gotten Pinky into turn 1. Yes, he has. And that should be a race win for Sean. And yeah, very, very unfortunate for Pinky. He's driven so well. But in the end, those tires, the mediums, and he's now almost spinning as well, simply did not have the pace to keep Sean behind at the end. And you can see already Sean 5 tenths away. Pinky cannot keep the same pace as Sean on those hard compound tires, the mediums. Yeah, simply 2-1 out, and Sean will be your race winner here in Qatar, unless something drastic happens in the last lap, which I don't want to call into action anything of that sort, of course. We'll stay on board here with the leading pack. Sean, Pinky, Cuckoo will drop behind Gabri, I think, with a 6-second penalty, so it will be Sean, Pinky, and Gabri in third at the end of this Grand Prix. Cuckoo might even be able to make a move on Pinky still, but it won't matter with the penalty, of course. And Sean, only one more proper corner to go, the rest are all flat out. Oh well, not anymore. The tires are so worn out, they have to lift quite a bit. But in quality these are flat out, at least. But yeah, here we go for the final corner, and Sean, I said it last week, don't count him out of the fight for the championship, even though he had a bad race. Here he is again, your champion for the last 3 seasons is back. A race winner again in the second race of season 14. Pinky takes second place, Gabri takes third, Cuckoo in fourth, and then Phantom Fox hangs on to fifth on those old mediums. He was actually caught in the end. Pix in sixth, Papdog in seventh, Bobadino in eighth, Bazooka in ninth, Sully 10th on track, but he will drop behind Desi. So, Sully actually in 9th now. Okay, Bazooka lower penalty than I thought. Desi in 9th, Sully 10th, Bazooka 11th, Harry 12th. So, Sully does get 1 point in the end, 4,000 between him and Desi at the end, that's very close. After the penalties. But, wow. What a race once again, and what a drive by Pinky, by Sean. But I think Pinky is my driver of the day. The way he took charge after that restart, passed Sully immediately and started building the gap he needed, just like I said as well on the safety car, exactly what he needed. He needs to build as much of a gap as possible and create space between him and the rest of the field, because those mediums will completely die, and they did, and it cost him the race win in the end. He would have deserved, in my opinion. But Sean, also a very, very deserving winner. You can't take anything away from him. The way he came back after last week, it looked to be a horrible season for Sean. Phantom Fox gets driver of the day by the game, of course. A great drive as well, starting in last place, making the same strategy as Pinky work. And yeah, Sully as well, a mega drive, even if the result doesn't show at P10. He went for the gamble, and he executed the gamble so well, it just didn't pay off because he didn't get the safety car he needed. But yeah, if he had gotten that, say, and it could have been the same as last week, he could have gotten another win. but this way he's only gotten 1 point from this race. And Sean takes home the race win in Qatar. The first win for Kick Sauber in the new branding as well in F1 Total. And they'll be very happy with that as well, I think. Here we have the full race results once again. Sean, Pinky, Gabri, Kuko, Phantom from 14th place to 5th, Pix, Papdog, Borodinho, Desi, and Sully with the fastest lap, getting 2 points in the end in P10. And then Bazooka, Harry, Mihai, Marcelio finishing without points, Owise a lap down, and Thok having DNF from the race. Yeah, that's been the second round of Division 2. I'm Anila Felix 1, I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Thank you all for watching. And yeah, hope to see you again next week for the USA Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas. Yeah, and what a season it's been so far. 2 very great races to watch. And I think we are in for another amazing title fight here in Division 2. So many quick guys, so close together. And of course, well, the Division 1 race in Qatar on Saturday as well. At 7:30 PM UK as always. Should be live streamed, hopefully. Feel free to tune in for that if you're interested. Yeah, have a nice evening. And yeah, I'll see you again next week. And of course, you will see me, hopefully, racing on Saturday as well in Division 1. Yeah, enjoy your evening. Goodbye.